Hey guys, how you doing? Good evening, good night, good morning. Good morning's my favorite, albeit it's not morning where I'm at. Yo, Aslan, what's going on, dude? All right. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's get the disclaimer out of the way. Welcome to the Rainbow Trends weekly stream. We do this every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Stream for about an hour or so, and then we go straight to the Rainbow's Trend Discord, and we hang out in there with all the OGs. You guys can ask questions, whether that's trading advice, not that this is trading advice, coding, whales, bots, video games, you name it. We all hang out, and the OGs do a lot of cool stuff in there. So, anyway, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Streams intended to be used as educational purposes only. It's not intended to be used as financial advice. Let's go. Let me switch the screen over. If you notice, I got some new artwork. I blew out my Midjourney free subscription. Well, that's not right. Hold on. We just screwed this up. Alright, back to normal. Sorry, I'm still trying to get all the dual streaming and stuff working, but I couldn't get dual streaming to work today. But at least I got the Twitch stuff set up. But see you guys. Glad you made it. I'm going to let everybody know we're live there. Like I said, this is for educational purposes only. All the stuff we're looking at is just colors and squiggly lines. Even if you were to mistake the tickers for an actual tradable asset, these are all unlicensed, unregistered securities. Highly ill-advised to invest in any of that. You shouldn't be touching it. So we're going to trust Gensler, and I got a video from Gensler I want to show. All right, that's good. Let me pop it out on Twitter saying there. How you guys doing this wild week? We've been bored for a year. There are trades on the table if you're willing to pick them up. We went from a market where you were lucky to see a 5% move in a day on like 100 assets on Coinbase. Now we're at a point where you can see 80% moves in a day on spot. So it's awesome. But anyway, what's up, Aslan? Stacks, what's up, my guy? The Golden Retriever Bros. Heard that Midjourney website just went into alpha, so hopefully it comes out eventually. I've used their website just for the signups, but if you haven't noticed, if you have Discord Premium, you get a month free allegedly. I used it, got a free. Thought it was a month. I blew through it in about 3 days, but it's really hard to get rainbow artwork, so I have to do a million revisions to get anything right. So I blew through it up pretty bad. So anyway, like I said, if you're new here, curious why or what's going on, why my charts aren't in black and white. I don't trade black and white. I trade in colors, chasing whales with a bunch of different tools. If you're interested in any of that, check us out on the website, rainbow-trends.com, and you can see a bunch of our OGs and stuff like that. But the main thing is hang out in the Discord, and the Discord is at the top. The link's there. No paywalls in the Discord. A bunch of our tools are free, but if you're really interested, just check out the Discord, and that's where you can find the OGs. But anywho, where are we? We are seeing signs of life in crypto, and we're starting to see signs of life of quantitative tensioning coming to an end. So it's good stuff. Good stuff. If you're still liquid, you kind of made it. There's a few arguments. Maybe the bull bear market could happen. Maybe Capo's right, whatever how you say his name. Maybe. We've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But we're running out of time to justify something going crazy. No matter how you spin it. I say crazy. I mean, stuff's going to go crazy, but I'm talking like, you want to talk about like FTX bottoms down at like 15K? I don't think that's really on the table anymore. And Stacks is right. F the Bears. F the Bears. I mean, whatever. You want to be a bear and keep trying to short this and stuff. I mean, it's gonna hurt. So, but yeah, You want to study about like Bitcoin bottoms? That's really looking like your bottom, especially if you want to like pull out your Mayer multiple. Like we're really looking at the squeezes, buying those bottom bands, and now we're rocking and rolling, and we're really starting to try to get up into the higher bands. But in years past, once we get into that red, it's game on. And right now, that's $61,000. Not that we'll get there today. It's possible, but very, 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 very highly unlikely. But needless to say, like bull market's going to be rocking and rolling, and you can see like where we had the Mayer multiples last time. We bounced into them, kept chugging along, and then we rolled and faded out. In the 20K market, I guess the 13.5 parabolic run, and then that one too was over here. But anyway, long story short, things are warming up. We aren't full. It feels like a crazy market, and it really is. It is awesome, but it's not up only yet. So keep that in mind. It's not up only yet. So we'll see. The chart here you can see is kind of the timelines I've been looking at. I need to update this because we're now. Need to shorten this. How do you? That's not gonna do it that way. Pretty close. So the ETF deadline is in about 27 days. That's the January 10th cutoff. That's where they're saying they're going to have to make or break their decision. And then we have the halvening, which is going to move a little bit, coming in on like April 23rd. 2024, obviously. But that's still really close. Let me see. Yeah, I can move the left side. Awesome trading. Do you think coding that? We're like 25 days from the ETF deadline. We're like 100 days from the halvening. As long as crypto's been going on, this is like bull area. We've never seen this, but we've seen halvening. So a lot of times we've had moves into the halvening, the belly's out, and then it comes and goes again. But needless to say, we're running out of time to pack bags. You want to do like a bearish argument on that? We've kind of only really had Bitcoin exist in like up only stock markets. So you could argue that we've never really seen Bitcoin go through a really bearish market. Albeit we've gone through some pretty crazy stuff with COVID, the recovery, Black Swan stuff. We've never really seen like a macro bearish market. So keep that in mind. Holidays are coming. This stuff's going to go fast. And then here's our ceiling. That's your all-time high order block. We're close. You say, oh, blah, blah, blah. Man, we've gone like $10,000 in like less than a month. So like, we're talking like 50% move from here, which is 50% move is a lot. It is a lot. But what I'm saying is like 65K is not that far from 43. From 15K, that's a much bigger gap. So anywho, as far as pivots go, the two pivots I'm really worried about are these, I guess, pivots in the order blocks. The 42K pivot, which we've broken through, retested, and now we're above it again. We didn't perfectly kiss it, we went through it, so I don't really like that, but take what I can get. We have a 48.2 pivot back from over here. And then we have the all-time high order block over here. So that's what we're kind of targeting next. Past this line is price discovery. Will we get there this year? Probably not. Will we get there next year? Maybe. Don't know. We really got to see how this belly goes out. Plus, we got to see what the hell these feds do. That could mess up a lot of stuff. So we got to go from there and see what it goes like. He's shaking a bit with excitement. This is bullish. Oh, man. I've just had a crazy week with in relationship to like the oil field stuff. And a lot of crazy stuff I've had to go through this week. I'm worked up a bit, if you can't tell. But anywho, it's going to be a chill day. Things are going up. I don't know if you're going to get shorts. I know a lot of people want to keep shorting this stuff. Up till about here, we were getting shorts from the whole market down from 2021 till here. Shorts were working. Since then, since October, we haven't had pullbacks. And it looks like we're due for pullbacks, and we're not getting pullbacks. So Pullback definitely can come. We haven't had a black swan hit in a very, very, very long time, which is really, really awesome. But you never know. People have forgotten what this stuff looked like back in the day. These were days where you went from 55 to 48 in a day. Like, these were rough times, which wiped out a lot of people. So we definitely could, albeit I think we're coming out of the bottom and we've got really bullish narratives. I think things are looking good. I'm not going to say YOLO long, 100,000 bucks, 100x YOLO, but things are looking good. All the narratives are kind of lining up, and they're kind of lining up so perfectly, you're starting to question it. So it's getting kind of crazy. Man, if you're asking 177, I don't really think it's going to pull back. I think you're going to have a bunch of volatility on the ETF deadline. We've seen that already, where ETF news drops and price moves violently. But as far as I understand, the ETFs, within 24 hours of the approval, they're going online. So it's not like we're going to wait a month after the approval. It's going to rock and roll. If that's the case, halvening is going to hit pretty close afterwards, within a few months. So it's going to be crazy. Like I said, a lot of the times in the past, the halvenings will sell the news and then it bellies out and then it keeps going up. That's what it's done in the past. This time may be different, right? You never know, but things are looking really good and time is kind of moving with us. So we'll see. Typically though, January is not the most bullish month seasonality wise for Bitcoin. So there's that to consider. Frankly, if this thing starts puking pinks before January, like, I'm going to start cutting some stuff out. What I'm talking about is, like, if we start seeing parabolic paint, like this type of nonsense, where you're going from like 24K to like 40K in just a few days, like, I'm cutting some out. I'll see when to re-enter later. Maybe I'm wrong and it just keeps going. I just gotta tread lightly. Anytime you're going parabolic, anytime you're hitting like these reversion bands, I get really skittish. Especially if you hit into the cyans. So these are the machine learning ones. So these adjust every coin over time, and gotta be careful. If you get anywhere in here, you better have a damn good reason to stay long and not take profits. Albeit, that'd be a really good problem to have right now if we got into like $70,000 by the end of the year, but you get the point, right? Is there a way to long volume on Bitcoin? Volatility? I don't know if that is possible. Can long it in TradeFi? I don't know. Maybe if it goes to ETF, maybe there'll be a derivative. I don't know. It's a good question. I just don't have the answer. But anyway, as far as though, like, your other question, like, when do you think we'll pull back? This is my king order block right now, was 31,000. So I don't think they're ever going to get through 31,000 without a ridiculous event happening. So I think if we all hell broke loose, we drop from 41 to 31. I think that's what you just put a gun to my head and asked me. So, but the other thing I wanted to show is Ethereum is starting to wake up. It's good. You want this thing to wake up. You can hate Ethereum all you want, but in general, you do want to see this thing rock and roll. It brings on the alt market, right? And the alts is where you're really going to get some gains. Yes, you can trade Bitcoin. Yes, you can hold Bitcoin for years and years and years. But you're sitting there with like just $1,000 or something. You're really going to probably need to look at like flipping some alts. And when this bad boy wakes up, that's when we start seeing it. And this week we had a bit of a pullback, and you can see it here. It didn't really hit any key levels. It just kind of bottomed out, started wicking. It didn't touch these pivots, and then it started waking back up. So I would really like to see it get above 2,400. Does so, I think we're going much higher because we've cleared this order block range. It's crazy with the red bands up at crunch. So it's a mess. This is a messy chart, but we're out and above it. So we're going to start talking about like 3,000 level pivots, in my opinion, if we break free. right now you could maybe say that's the last of the retest and we're off to the races. And that would just be awesome. You also have to remember there's an Ethereum ETF coming as well. So it's going to be months after the Bitcoin one, but regardless, when there's a Bitcoin narrative, there will also follow a Ethereum narrative. So it just all goes in rotations. Bitcoin wants to run and throw down, bow to the king. Let the king run. But when the king goes sideways and takes a breather, Ethereum normally bolts out the door. With that being said, this year, Sol has been front running that move. And Sol is rocking and rolling right now. Sol has been on absolute fire. And I think a lot of the charts over time eventually are going to look like this, which is going to be insane. And I think you're starting to run out of your opportunities to bag stuff in these multi-year accumulations. This is 2023. It's basically 2024. So this is like probably 18 months worth of accumulation. And then it's popped and gone. And look at the volume. Volume's nuts. So this is going to spark a lot of stuff if we start getting this on the other ones. Because right now, we're starting to see everything that has a chart that looks like this. A lot of them are starting this part. And they're starting to wake up. So it's really good to see that because we want to see everything pump and bring all the market caps up. But we'll see. Now, Sol is fighting an order block here from like 74 to 80. But you're talking like 140 after that. So, and after 140, you're talking all-time highs. So, like, relatively speaking, she's warming up to rock and roll. But with that being said, it's really hot right now. So you got to be careful because this thing, anytime you're seeing stuff print these parabolic paints, like it can eat you up. Because you're going to try to FOMO here at 62 and then watch it drop down to like 51. That's going to scare the bejesus out of you. That being said, though, that's what these colors are for. You don't buy pinks above these revision bands. It's going to eat your lunch. You got to wait for it to cool off. The problem is people want to see like cool offs that go down and tag like these levels, and we're not seeing that anymore. Like you're just kind of getting retest into the middle of the range. It's not really reaccumulation, and it just goes. So, you've got to change your tactics. The stuff that we've been doing for the past year and a half isn't going to work anymore. The market's changed. It's getting into easier mode. Shorts are very, very hard to pull off nowadays. And frankly, they're not as far as like liquidations go, they're not really hunting longs. They're hunting. They occasionally hunt the shorts and wipe the shorts out. But man, they don't get much on the longs. Like the scariest thing we had this week was this. That candle. And it only went to 41.4. So that's nothing. We've seen, like I said, we've seen days where these did $10,000. It did like $1,500. It's not that crazy. So anyway, yeah, we'll take a look at ADA. Please, Aave. Aslan's with me, man. I was getting trash talked on my own Discord about Aave, and I was like, I don't care what the ticker says. I just know what that is. That's accumulation chart. So let me turn the red bands off. I could totally be wrong with this, and Sol could go to $1,000 while I'm messing around with Aave, but to me, that's the link chart before the link chart blew out. For comparison, let me show it to you real quick. That right there is the Aave chart right now. Now this thing didn't really SOS, it just catapulted through it, and I never got to get in. I kept trying to wait for a retest, I never got it, I didn't get much out of that trade at all. So I'm watching Aave like a hawk for when this bad boy wakes up. And it's starting to show some life here. It's gone up and it hasn't pulled back down for another range reclaim or retest. And we're starting to wake back up. So we had a closed candle on the daily here above the others. It's awesome, but I don't know. And you can see there's a white dash line here. My alert's for 111. It's a late alert, but it's basically, I've got a bunch of cash sidelined, and I'm going to ride this thing up to this order block up here, and then reassess what happens. And I have really easy validation. We get back down into here. I'm getting out, and I'm going to look at other things, but this looks like an 18-month accumulation chart, and from here to here is 50%. So that's my plan. Is it a good plan because I'm messing with a dead Dino coin? Probably not. I should just be long Bonk, which got listed today on Coinbase. This is the clear winner. What? Since December 1st, it's up 640%, and I'm trying to get a 50%, but you get the point. It's going to be a long, sweet trade, but I think it's coming. And if I can get into position with a little bit of risk, get into profit, then pull the risk back to break even, I'm going to do it. And today, Blunt's even posted about it. So other people are starting to notice. It's like, hey, this thing hasn't popped. Yeah, Sol's been running for months, but this thing has just been sitting here. So we want to see it rock and roll. Anyway. Oh, you guys are chatting up a storm now. Hold on, I gotta catch up. Ollie, please. Is this the rainbow? It's one of them, Crypto Dime. There's probably 3 in your inbox. I changed my profile picture today. Oh, that's a good point. Thank you for showing that, or bringing that up. The dudes are evolving, the scammers. So we actually had a guy I've been wanting in the Discord for a while. Got into the Discord, and then a scammer hit him up. He got offended and left, and I was like, damn it. Like, this is not cool. So let me show you this real quick, because this is what these dudes do. They're not even in the Discord anymore. What I think they're doing, I think they join the Discord, they write down or send a bunch of invites to people in the Discord, they leave, and then they start DMing people stuff like this. And a lot of people buy it, especially if they don't know me. So, put it bluntly, I don't do anything like this. Yeah, I deal with some clients and stuff, but I will never approach you about that. That stuff's like private. I definitely won't ever talk to you like this. The only thing I'll ever accept payment through is through the website. I'm never going to send you a DM asking for money. Even if I did, I'd probably ask you for Zcash. So if they're asking for like other stuff, they're definitely scammers. But no, I won't ever send you anything like this, hustling for money. And also notice, this looks just like me. Even this is the same, but there's a period at the end, and that's really subtle. So they're just shitheads. They're really bad, and please don't ever fall for this scam, because I'm gonna be heartbroken if you do. But thank you, Dime. And Dime, I'm glad to see that you're back with the living. Oh, let's see, movie. Oh, another warning. F Ledger, they apparently rolled out an update to their hardware wallet with a drainer involved. So shout out to those guys for just trying to screw up a company by doxing all their clients, trying to make wearable Ledger gear. I'm so mad with them. Someone requested movie. We'll take a look at that. Well, probably might as well do it now. I don't know what this is, so never even heard of it. It's a very low cap coin the way it moves. And I really don't have a read on this. It doesn't look like it's waking up yet. This pumped, but it just straight up dumped. The volume's really, really weird. When you see candle prints like this, it's really goofy. Heavily manipulated, very, very low liquidity. But let's see some Bonk, and let's see some Tia. Tia has been on a rage this week. You're gonna hear my dogs barking. My wife's coming home. Tia's been awesome. Tia's been destroying my spot scalp account with trades. It's been awesome. And a lot of the trades that I've been doing in Tia is not to get out of Tia. It's to sell high and then buy back low. Most people do the opposite, but when you do it that way, I can sell high and then buy more of the tokens for less money. So it allows me to grow my bag with the focus on the tokens, not on USD. But she's been pretty damn hot. As you can see, we're not even anywhere near this. We're using the top reversion band as damn support. So she's really hot. So I kind of been going to lower time frames and been trying to play these barts and spikes like that, but even then, this is hard for me to sell and try to re-enter lower just because it doesn't even print really bearish candles. Occasionally we'll get a red or orange here, but like we're not getting anything on the other side. So regardless, if you just want to hold TIA and not worry about this crazy volatility, it's been paying out for me for quite a while. And it's got a lot of good people talking about it that I trust. So it's kind of working out. Can you zoom out and show reversion bands on BTC? Yeah, we could go back and look at that on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the normal bands are the red and the green, and then the machine learning ones are on the yellow and the orange. I'm sorry, the blue and the orange. So if you go all the way back on Bitcoin, that's really how it used to be back in the day. You really want to talk about like when Bitcoin was like $100, but that data is not super important as it used to be, because you can see it adjusting here, right? So I really want to look at like more recent data on lower time frames, because it can only see back as far as the candles go. But you look at like 2017, that was the last strong move, and 13.5. But 20K is really what it did, what really sent this thing over. And you can see the bands adjusting to this thing going on the parabolic run, and then it remembered them. So it's like, okay, we'll see you on the next run if you ever get that hot again. And frankly, since that 20K run in 2017, we haven't been that hot again. See the COVID bottom, though, pushing down into here, though. That's giving you the opposite side of that. What's the lowest we can go to? So you want to talk about like if we had a COVID crash again, what the lowest price would be? Like 13K would be never been done before territory. So if you actually printed something below this orange band, it literally means Bitcoin's never done anything like that. Same goes for the top. If you get above this cyan band, you're in territory that's never happened before. So frankly, when you get candles into this cyan, like you better have a really good reason not to sell. Very good, because you normally the bulls, it's technically impossible to hang in this cyan band because it will keep adjusting over time, just the way like the machine learning works. So Ethereum, we can look at that high time frame real quick. That's the thing. Ethereum has not rocked and rolled like OG Ethereum. Right now, those levels are like 3,800 to like 45. But back in the day, man, when this thing was rocking and rolling, look at that thing. Pushing into the cyan bands. Then for the all-time high, trying to get close to it, but never touched it again. So, for the most part, we're probably going to stay under that, but you never know. I can say this, though. Like, you show me pink candles in cyan bands, I sell. I don't really care. It's just the way it goes. And it works, because, man, unless it's something stupid like Bonk, not to say Bonk's stupid, but, like, well, I guess that's the point. Shout out to, I don't know how you say your name, dude, but you've been with me for a long time. LXAXIS from SWO, the Moonshot Discord. He's been charting Bonk on the 1 hour. And you can see, like, this thing does not care about this green normal reversion band. It's just chugging along, and you can see the tools learning how volatile Bonk can be and adjusting for the top. And there you caught your top. So anybody who sold here caught the top today. So it was really cool to see them actually, like, use the machine learning to hang with Bonk, because Bonk's Long's insane. I mean, it's the hottest thing right now. I don't know of anything else moving like that consistently. So, and it's not even touching like the bottom bands. It's touching this. I mean, your channel walkers kind of keeping it in check. We wicked that, but man, it's nuts. And it just got listed on Coinbase today, and it printed like a 40% daily. Yeah, whatever that is, 12749 to that. So crazy. Isn't that every crypto Discord with the hackers? Probably. Dude, you'd be surprised, Dime. People fall for that stuff, and I'm gonna feel awful. I honestly think Ledger's trying to kill their company. Like, I honestly do. Like, they could just have the most simple product and never mess with it, and just say, "Hey, we have hack-proof code, done." Right? Yeah. You can look at AVAX and Link. I haven't gone down the list. You're short Sol, so you're long silver as well. Well, that's not Reese. Oh, you brought up Zcash. So Zcash Sol, how do you get a job onboarding people to crypto? I don't know. This Bitcoin being boring. Send it back to 500. Well, when Bitcoin was boring, you were on FTX documentary time, so that was kind of nice. All right, dude, you guys are blowing up the chat. If I missed you guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to scroll through this really fast. So your short Sol, what's the argument on that? It's going to rotate into something else? Frankly, I'm scared to touch it. If I was going to short it. Like, this stuff is super, super strong. Whales want to print. Whales want to bang. Lots and lots of volume to do that. But we are in that order block, so I will give you that. Albeit I don't have the VWAP dime band, so I could be missing that. Oh, someone was asking how I extend the pivot lines. So a little tutorial here. I can only draw these pivot lines so far before TradingView literally crashes. So they're as far as I can draw them. So I grab this tool here, the horizontal ray, and you can make it dash line 2 points, and it'll look identical. So I just draw these, and that does everything for me. So I can see my pivots way out into the future, which is where they're still valuable. I learned that directly from 9K because he caught a Bcash move from a pivot that was like 2 years old. It taught me a lesson when I was young and dumb. So Dime is shorting this order block that's got 4-hour pivots in it. And currently it's weaker colors on a lower high. So, and we got a H4 top print, albeit that wick would have triggered that type of algorithm, and then an RSI top. So maybe, but man, there's so much chatter on Twitter with Sol. I'd be so scared to touch it in respects to shorting it, especially when it damn near touched the cyan band. Like, this is recent data that makes me scared that it could pop up and go back up here to 100. But I guess if it does, we'll hear about it. Not even using VWAP. You're in the wrong side of the trade, Dime, if you're not trading VWAP. That's not like you. But albeit, this is post-COVID, Dime. Oh, someone wanted to see AVAX. So, if you don't know Doppel, you should. He's one of the OGest to the OGest Rainbow Trends guys that I've trusted for years at this point. And he's kind of hard to read sometimes because he's not going to spoon feed you calls and post P&L porn. He's going to post stuff about like generators in the Bank of Japan. But he called this. He literally called this AVAX pump. So I'm not going to take an ounce of spotlight for this. I'm going to point it out to him, and I'm going to rub everyone else's nose in it that you need to listen to Doppel, because he started talking about Doppel, or he started talking about AVAX. God, what was the price? $20-something, and it's over 100% call at this point. He was pointing out that this AVAX is one of the only layer ones left on Robinhood. Something to think about, and that's the key. Learn who to like. Don't trust very many people at all, but like learn to trust certain people, and then also like learn how to read them. Like a really good example is like Carpe Noctem's really easy to read. He'll tell you like what his emotions are. Carpe Noctem, like Josh is like excited. Like we're high confidence we're in a macro bull market, right? But when Doppel's saying he's thinking about something, that's kind of my cue to like really pay attention, because it means he's probably already in position and has done his due diligence research. So he nailed the crap out of that one. I don't know about you, but like top 50 coin doing a 50% move in just like a week or so. Shout out to the Rainbow Crew dudes, the OGs. So that one's awesome. And what was the other one besides Dave actually wanted to see? I forget. Vivid Brain Fog. Oh yeah, ADA. That was the other one. So ADA is acting like it wants to go to $4 again, right? The kid. I need to delete some of this. So this is it on the daily. Spoiler alert, this was your accumulation, right? There's an order block here. There is an order block here. It's broken through it, and it's tagged this pivot. If you like to draw another block, you can do that down to like 6 there. And now it's still going. And the volume's like not backing off. So you want to talk about like the next target. If 88 doesn't slow down, 74 cents, 74.8, almost 75 is like the next target. And then you're talking like $1.48. Now, if 88 gets down to $1.50, like we can have some other conversations, but like this is really your accumulation printing. This is what it looks like in crypto. And I'm not crazy about 88. I think the dude's a goofball, but to be frank, I don't know of any crypto founder who's not really a goofball. I mean, and that's coming from a guy who LARPs as a rainbow cow, so keep that in mind. And I sell rainbow paint in a training. I'm gonna stop there. Anyway, 88, man, it's waking up. Macro wise, it's really awesome to talk about like targeting like $1.50. Like that sounds super bullish. But let's keep things in check, because when we go down to lower time frames, you do not start layering in when these tools are telling you that the bulls are overextended. Don't do it. Now, you have to balance your emotions and your FOMO with getting left in the dust like Bonk did, but I don't think ADA is going to leave you in the dust with a 600% print. But like, you do not buy RSI that's that hot. You don't buy these pink candles above these pink candles, and you definitely don't buy stuff that's like in these reversion bands. And like, just you need to say a prayer if you're longing stuff here. It's just don't do it. It's not good for your health. So keep that in mind, because when you zoom out, it's just like, oh, I just need to leverage along this to like $1.50. Well, mind you, this stuff can retrace pretty bad. Like, it doesn't look like a lot, but like if you retrace this stuff, that's a 35% print back down to here, and it definitely could do it. So Charles goes out there and says the wrong thing, you just never know, right? So anyway, it looks good. It looks like it's broken out, and it kind of reminds me of like the Aave chart. But that's why I'm so like pushing this idea that Aave's going. And I've been talking about the Aave chart for weeks now, and nobody wants to really give it attention until now. Actually, Blunt's actually posted about it today. So, like I said, that's the planned move. Break out, let's go to here, chug, go and see what it does from there. But by the time it gets there, that's a 50% move if it hits. So I'm going to protect my butt. I'm not going to have a stop loss like down here at $39, but you know how that goes. Or we can just do ride or die, no stop losses. So anyway, let's see what's pumping now. By the way, I think KYC's hitting Femex. We're running out of leverage places without KYC. Be careful there. Actually, let me check HBAR because too many people that I consider like OG are talking about this. I wanted to take a look at it on a computer because I haven't. I briefly looked at it on mobile. So yeah, this is the thing. There's a lot of charts that look like this. Absolute death, and then they've gone sideways. So when you see death and then like 18 months of sideways, probably accumulation. Probably. Could be redistribution. You don't know. But you want to talk this through macro-wise. Let's get a game plan. Let's get some roadmaps. You got a big order block here. Not as tight as I would like to do it, but regardless, you could consider this maybe 2 order blocks like that. That's actually a little bit easier way to explain it. We're above this one right now, the 8.5. You get some retests. We're going to go up to this one, and then it's time to party. Like, be boring. You don't have to long this stuff. You can wait for it to print and let it happen, and then long it as it wakes up. We launch through here, and it starts to go under like for 14 cents here. Like, you can get in. So, because I'll be honest, you missed that one. You're not going to get that opportunity again. Looking into that liquidity is not going to happen anytime soon again, unless this thing severely rolls over, ETF rejections hit. We'll see. This is our brilliant Gensler. Can't hear it. Let me turn the music off. Speaking of ETF denials, I think it's going to happen.
Obviously, the commission and the staff of the commission is still hard at work on a number of issues. One of them dealing with a number of filings of spot Bitcoin ETFs. You know, Mr. Chair, I have to ask you this question.
He's mad.
We did something very significant about the $26 trillion treasury market, which is really the base of our entire capital markets. It's how we fund our government. It's how our Federal Reserve does monetary policy. It's how we maintain the dollar dominance around the globe. And you want to ask me about crypto?
In my defense, Commissioner Ueda also brought up crypto in this open meeting.
He's so mad.
I mean, the U.S. Treasury market is a very consequential, very important market. Crypto securities are not only much smaller, it's not how we fund our government, it's not how we conduct monetary policy, and for many investors, they've been harmed in that market. And they're being harmed because there's too much non-compliance. It's not just non-compliance with securities laws, it's non-compliance with a raft of other laws. Our sister regulator in the market space, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the U.S. Department of Treasury, and Financial Crimes Enforcement. But again, I do ask, and if you look at the focus and the priorities, the U.S. Treasury market and what we did today is really quite important to our capital markets.
Absolutely, and that's why we have discussed it, but you are actively engaging with a number of matters related to crypto specifically. So I think, sir, this is fair game, especially when you are having staff meeting with a number of issuers in recent days.
Fair game. I'm glad that you at least now agree that the priorities were more to the Treasury market. So what is your question about?
Obviously.
He's so mad. And that's a dude who absolutely loves being on television. So keep that in mind. He's gonna get drugged through the courts to pass this stuff, and he's spending all the time. They're doing all these last minute meetings with like Fidelity and BlackRock, getting all their T's and C's correct. I don't think they're denying it. I think it's coming through. So market is going to do something it's never been done before. You're going to see ETF liquidity hit, and it should be bullish. What was that account? JSEYFF. So that guy is the one who does a lot of the incel on like the ETF decisions, and I read a bunch of his stuff. So I like him. I follow him. A lot of other people do too. Zcash. We haven't looked at Zcash yet. So I want to look at Zcash because my homeboy Nexus has been looking at this, and Nexus owes me a rainbow chart on it, let's say. But one thing I wanted to point out, forget the downtrend line. Look at the channel walker on the 3-day. I normally truncate it down, but smaller, but we have not been above the 3-day channel walker since April of 2022. Now this thing isn't horizontal like Aave, but it's curling, and it's coming to a point where it's about to flip the colors as well, but it's above this 3-day channel walker. So it looks good in that respect. Now, it may form the horizontal range out to here, but it's starting to show life. Is Zcash the latest and greatest thing? Absolutely not. But man, when it starts printing rainbows, it is easy to trade. So, with that being said, we haven't seen it print those types of paint in a long time. So I've been watching it, and it's just been grinding and grinding and lower low, lower low, lower low. But check this out: this downtrend really starting to kind of die off. However you want to kind of draw that, we're kind of above it now, and it's showing some life. Albeit it's the end of the year, tax season. You normally see a privacy coin pump kind of narrative happen, but maybe, guys, maybe that's the bottom on Zcash, and that's you can get a $30 entry. Maybe you can see, like, we're looking at like $47 would be the next kind of range up. 50% move. If I make a 50% move spot cash with some serious change on Zcash, I want the likes, I want the retweets, I want the clout. I want the Barry Silbert memes, Hit Vipers. We'll do Zcash hard. See, man, Silbert used to trade Zcash with no regard to liquidity, and it would just rock and roll up and up and down. It was awesome. You could trade the reversion bands like it was cheating. It would just bounce between the reds and the greens. So far, it's just been bouncing into the reds. It hasn't really been bopping over to the other side. So hopefully we start seeing that again. And then you start buying, selling, and it gets really... There was a time and place where that was like my big focus in the Discord, was trading Zcash. But so far, it really, really hasn't been paying out, because the last trade I did with it, I bought here, and then it just kind of faded and went sideways for like 2 months, and I walked away because there was enough gap for it to come down and tag again down below 20. I'm done. Other stuff's running. I'm gonna go spend my time elsewhere. Anyway, Gensler, Zcash, what are we missing? Oh, we can look at hash rate. So shout out YCharts. If you haven't used these guys, it's pretty good data on Bitcoin hash rates. And if you haven't noticed, hash rates are climbing. Choppy, but they're up. This is like doubling in 12 months. And the halvening's coming. When the halvening comes, like, you're going to lose a lot of equipment. Is not going to be profitable anymore. So you got to be really careful with that. Let's check this out. This is Bitmain. What do they got in stock? Not doing liquid cooled. By the way, these liquid cooled ones run on 330 volts. If you know how to step up or step down 240 to 330 or 480 to 330, let me know, because I would love to set one of these up. But they have the S20s, 21s coming out. They're $3,900 a unit, and they do 200 terahashes. If you want to party like a miner, this is what you want. But if you bought it now for $4,000, you're not getting it till March, and that's shipping. They're gonna ship it from overseas in March. You probably get it in April once it gets through customs. But let me show you this. So, assuming price hangs out now, if you do MinerStat website, you can actually check the profitability. So that thing pulls 3,500 watts. It's like running 2 hair dryers, and they're actually like as loud as that. Assuming electricity price is crazy, current price rates before the halving, this thing's only going to get like $10 a day in profitability. So you could pay it off in a year, but it's going to be as loud as a vacuum cleaner in your house, just bellowing out heat. So keep that in mind. But you want to talk about mining wars? That's what they're actually stacking. This is how you mine Bitcoin, and this is the stuff they offer for it. Oh my god, the Zcash miner's back in stock. To date, I have never seen a Zcash miner post anything on Twitter, but maybe that's the point. Like it's a privacy coin, so maybe like the Zcash miners take that seriously and don't post their mining rigs. I don't really know, but I've never seen any single person in Twitter, and I have looked for it. Not a single person talks about having a Z15 Pro. I really want to buy one and just start talking mess on Twitter. That's a $3,000 flex. The wife would kill me. But anyway, back to the charts. Let me pull something up real quick. Actually, I forgot to pull this up on a default. Back to live stream. So CoinMarketCap on the 7-day. I wanted to see what's been going crazy this week. So if you don't know how CoinMarketCap works, you can actually do some customization, and you can pick the price range percentages per day. So I think by default it only shows you 1 hour and 24. But typically I kind of use this as a screener. I'll do the 7-day, and I can see like what's the flavor of the week. Right now, it's obviously Bonk, Engine, Beam, Osmo, Woo, Avax, Shout Out Dop, BTT, Tia. I think Tia hit $14 today. It was awesome. Cardano, I'll be damned. HNT, Ordini, FAT, Render Token. Algoland's pumping? Well, yeah, Algo's been pumping hard. Some of the guys in the Discord call these half pipes, and I get it because it looks like a half pipe. That's awesome. I could never trade Algo, but that was one that Pantalga always traded. Am I not showing the screen? White nose. Half pipe is the inverted Bart. Shorten it up, maybe. People are starting to call cup and handle now. But anyway, that's a little trick to play market cap that not everybody knows. But I want to see Beam. I'm not really familiar with Beam, but it's got rainbow stuff. USDT? Probably because I can't buy it. Wow, there's not a lot of... That's what's crazy. This is a top 70 coin, and like no one has it. Binance doesn't even have it, but Bybit does. Fishhook. Damn, that thing's on fire. Since December, Beam is up 140% in 2 weeks. See the reversion bands on that. Yeah. It's so much power to get a whale to hold price here. But there's not a lot of liquidity on it. It's a 61 ranked coin, but there's not many places that have it. Binance does have it? What is Beam X? So you can get Beam on PancakeSwap, but Binance you need Beam X? Volume looks more normal. That's interesting. I don't. That's weird. And it's really weird. Like Kraken doesn't really mess with it. Neither does Coinbase. At least there's some liquidity on Kraken. I mean, on Binance, 250,000. Some of these you can go in here and there's like $4,000, and it's like you can't really bid that. So there's a big fight with Hasaka wants Solana to flip XRP, and I'm kind of in that camp. Volume's way higher. I mean, we're getting close. 32 billion to 34. BNB's fading as well with all the Binance drama and CZ stepping down, which really puts Solana in the top 3. I don't consider Tether a coin, but oh, that's embarrassing. So it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Solana, then Cardano. Avalanche is in the top 10 now. Tapu. Dot's in the 11. Oh, someone asked about Dot. We can take a look at Dot. That's been one of like 9K's. He's been talking Dot for years now. And I swear he's got a majority of it. He's got a lot of it, or at least he used to. I know he sold a lot on this pump. Or not pump, but this move. Dot 9K. One of my top 5 recommendations. You'll see, like, there's very few people I'll vouch for. Very, very few. It's nothing personal against you as a person. It's just there's very, very few people in crypto I would trust. A lot of LARPs, and there's very, very few people I would send like 10 grand, no questions asked. They needed it, and he's one of them. He's taught me a lot, so highly recommend him. Sell one over 9,000. It's his name. Don't know who I'm talking about because the only dude who calls him 9K. So Dot's actually looking like it's setting up for the half pipe. This has already been a huge move from 350 to 750, the 100% move, and the volume's not screaming out to you. It should. That's what we're looking for. That's Papa's home. This is accumulation volume. When it's just chop and chattery, this is whales wanting to send it. So, that in mind. How do you go over the low time frame adjustments on version 2.2 yet? Oh, you ever go over? No, I haven't covered that, Fletch, because it's not done yet. So we do have an update on the main ticker that Fletch is asking about. So the OG main indicator really struggled below like 5-minute charts, and people always like go to 1 minute and they have problems with it. I've got an update now that's going to change some of the logic once you start getting below 5 minutes, and it's really going to make it easier for people who are not really in the mood to learn how to tune these tools. Some people just want to be out of the box 1 minute to 1 daily, and that's fine. I haven't been able to do it till recently, but this update is coming out. So this is 1 minute candles actually looking really good as far as like the color candles and stuff goes, and you can like actually get it down to like 30 seconds and it actually still prints right. And if you start DMing me about issues about these tools printing on like 1 second candles, instant ban. But at least I can get you down to 10 seconds now. So check that out. That's 10 seconds. And then we can go straight to H4 and it'll look right. Isn't that cool? So we had the big auto tuning upgrade, which really whooped my butt. And then now I've got the auto tuning plus some additional tweaks for like super low time frame. Because I used to think you guys, like, I actually thought people were messing with me. People were messaging me about 30-second charts on the S&P 500. And I'm like, this is a paying client, but I was like, I'm pretty sure he's messing with me. I don't like, surely he's not day trading 30-second candles. And he was, and he was successful, and he had really awesome tunes for it. And there's a few of them that do it. So just keep in mind, you're profitable. Don't let anybody tell you nothing. Even if like the author of the tools is saying, I don't think that's going to work. You know, I don't say that to their face. I'll root for them and say, hey, if you can do it, do it. I can't do H1s. I've got too busy of a life, but or 1 hour 1 minute M1s, whatever you call it. But some of these dudes do, and they do well. They do really well. You ever watch Hot Pins in the Discord? He does some really low time frame stuff on traditional markets when the time's right. And I think he trades 60 seconds and 30 seconds, and he was doing custom tuning on these settings here, but now it does it all automatically. So the tool itself actually reaches out, figures out what time frame you're on, and then adjusts to it. So it's a lot of code. Anyway. Yeah, ADA is a weird one. That's the one where I had all these coworkers at work that weren't into crypto, but they had bags of ADA somehow. How the hell Charles pulled that off? I don't know. Yeah, instant ban Pentog. You'd still be a mod, but you're banned from everything. So anyway. Let's see what else I want to look. There was I started looking at some altcoins that I thought looked like they haven't pumped yet. And this was the one I was talking about earlier this week. Like, I made a list in the morning of stuff I wanted to build some long-term positions on. And then it pumped 70% before lunchtime. So that was fun. I literally spotted it down here right when the whales were driving price into these order blocks, and it just full send. We see that, yeah. It actually tagged the reversion min. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I do not ask questions if I hit these. It literally went from 40 cents to 91 cents this same day. So I had to sit back and watch that thing pump. But like I said, kind of when I was talking about earlier in the chat, or earlier in the stream, there are still some coins that are still kind of half piped. So they're there. Whether or not they'll pump, I don't know. I can't even tell you what Cartesi is or what Rad is. But a lot of these look like they're forming the long accumulation ranges. And I was looking for stuff that was like over 12 months of accumulation and like low cap. So big paint down sideways. LPT. That one's pretty clean. I just moved the tool. LPT doing the same thing. LRC. So if things really start rocking, guys, like there's a lot of alts where it's like that is the bottom. Like that's the lowest you would have ever got before the run was 16 cents, and God knows where it'll go, right? LRC may be the next big thing. I know a lot of guys. I know Fletch used to trade this one a lot. I think it was just the one that had relationships to GameStop run. I don't remember. So anyway, they're out there. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about like 6-figure targets on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still kind of cheap and still bottom of a run. We've seen no parabolic paint yet. So you're talking about like potentially viewing something like this part of a run is what we're looking at now. And we're not going to pump every time this crazy, but say this went 330%. Let's just call it 200 from here because we're going to go less than the last run. $200% from here gets you to 128. I'd be fine with $128 Bitcoin. It's all good. The other thing I think probably a little late, but I think it's hard to argue not bagging a bunch of the AI coins right now. Keep that in mind. But anyway, guys, thanks for showing up on the stream. I'm going to go kick off the roundtable discussion in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, check us out at rainbow-trends.com. The very, very top banner is join our Discord community. You literally click this and it just takes you to the Discord link. I can post it in. Let me grab the link from it. I can put it in the chat. Here you go. All the AI coins, sir. There you go. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna turn off the Twitch stream and head over to the Discord. And anybody wants to show charts or talk, ask questions, that's what we're all about. I will see you guys maybe next week. It's Christmas time, so probably not, but this might be one of the last streams of the year. Anyway, I'll see you in a few weeks then. Anyway, later.